Ayo!
What up? How you doing? We are back, and this time around, I am very pleased to report I have finished the run. All 4. We did it. The Darth Vader comics are now complete.
Not a very long run.
Not a very long run.
But a very dense run.
But a pretty good run. A pretty good run. So, with that officially, here you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to have to go reread these now. I feel like I've missed stuff now.
Well,
or I have to remember fine details, but I'm sure you can remind me of those fine details.
Yes, so I'm gonna very briefly summarize.
I forgot. She's right there. She's right there. I forgot. Sorry.
Gonna very briefly summarize, I guess, where I left off last time. So maybe a mild spoiler alert. Hey, guess what? They're good comics. Go read them.
Short version. And, they're great.
If you don't want to hear any spoilers, then come back in about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I did them in about 2 nights. They're not a long read. They're pretty. You can blitz through them pretty quick. They're absolutely worth it, and you can get them on basically anywhere that sells books.
And I would say that it especially gets faster to read when you get to the later books because there's a lot more visuals.
Yes,
happening.
Very more visual oriented, less lore. Well, not less lore, but more
less words.
Yeah, show don't tell, if you will.
Indeed. So, actually, pass me them back. I'm gonna need just a quick
reminders
reminder
of what.
Yeah. So, first one. Again, we talked a little bit about it last time. This introduction was interesting because, like I said, this is where it kind of focuses a bit on talking to you about the mechanics of running an empire immediately, and how Darth Vader is supposed to get his lightsaber, and it goes through this interesting process of you're meeting a bunch of fringe Jedi that survived Order 66 that need to be wiped out and stuff. Yeah. Second one is where we got to the library and the introduction of the Inquisitors, and we also saw the gun, the lightsaber gun that we talked about, which is pretty rad.
Yep.
So that was all discussed. Pretty much in depth, and then third is the one where we go to Mon Cala, and
what's the king's name again? I keep forgetting it. Because he is a named character in the Clone Wars too.
Yeah.
So is the Grand Inquisitor. The Grand Inquisitor is one of the main... Lee Char, and the Grand Inquisitor is a main antagonist in the Rebels series.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Yeah,
the guy with the lines on his face.
Yes.
Okay. Fabric face?
Fabric face, exactly.
Okay, got it. Right. Well,
also, hold on, let me find. I think it's in book 3 or 4. 4 of Hilarious Connection, the second sister's just in frame, right front and center.
Oh.
And let me find it. You keep talking, I'll find it.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the sisters and brothers of the Inquisitorius are...
I think it's in 3, but...
I'm expecting that to be a part of... now I understand what we're doing with Lost Order a little bit there, right? But yeah, so you get the whole Mon Cala battle, which is interesting, and then that wraps up, and they do a cool little job of kind of showing you some random characters that are pulled into this battle that they're okay, we're not Jedis, but we're helping the Jedis, and we're nice people, we're good people, and it's how did you get involved to begin with? And they give you these little 1-page backstories, and some of them are literally oh yeah, I was about to die and some cool dude named Anakin jumped in and saved me.
That's the best. That's the best. I love
and you're
it.
And now you're running from him.
And of course no one knows, right?
Yeah.
As far as the universe is concerned, some dude in a suit of armor showed up and started just enforcing for the Emperor.
A random security droid standing at the library is hello, Master Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
So that stuff is interesting, right?
And there's a great scene, I want to say it's earlier on, where, so Vader's holding a lightsaber in the scene, and the fucking clones go, Jedi, get him! Because they're oh fuck, it's a Jedi! And the commandos are don't fucking shoot at him! Holy shit!
Yep. And then he comes down and he's why didn't your men have the description of what I look like?
Yeah.
Well... Totally, yeah. If she breathed.
Yeah.
Then the follow up after the Mon Cala stuff is Vader with the fucking Kalath cape on, where he's playing the Predator. basically. So we get a like this random ass issue where Grand Moff and his hunter boys have to hunt Vader with a cloaking device on a planet a planet that is like all like forest and whatnot, and you basically just get this.
It's kind of out of nowhere. It's kind of
Predator
a left field.
episode, yeah.
And you're like, is this like a what if or something? Like,
What's going on?
Yeah,
and then you eventually get the idea of what's going on, and it's like, well, it's because Vader kind of wanted it.
Yeah,
and Grand Moff's like, okay, dude, sure, and it's like people are gonna die, but he's like, yeah, this is what he wants. He's running out of people to fight.
Yeah,
he's and of course the fun part about that, besides introducing like your bat race again with the champion, is Grand Moff really gets his comeuppance, and not comeuppance. He gets established in this. I heard that he's in Clone Wars too, right?
Yes, and Anakin and Grand Moff have a relationship prior to all this.
They show you in this at least that like, yo, Grand Moff's he's a leader.
Yeah, he's not an idiot.
There's a reason why he's so high up.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, he's Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. So massive respect to that, but it does get weird in the last issue of this, and I don't know if you remember, but it's this issue. It's the one where the plans for the Proto Death Star are kind of in the process of going down, and the Emperor kind of goes, "Hey, Vader, you're supposed to follow whatever Grand Moff says. You're under him now.
Yeah, like as a
You're his subordinate," and then they have to go investigate the
Geonosian?
The Ursos.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, oh shit, okay, we got the tie-in
That's
to
right.
Rogue One.
I forgot it does that. Yeah, it ties into Rogue One.
You got the tie-in to Rogue One, so you got him investigating Jyn Erso's
dad.
Dad, exactly. And it's pretty cool, but it also plays Grand Moff as like this sinister, like mwahaha kind of guy, and I'm like that fucks up the characterization of him from the issue right before this. So when you're following him in the jungle, he's like a really like just cold, like stern-faced, like hunter dude that is like, I don't know why we're doing this, but it's what Vader wanted, and so be it. He's he's what you expect. He's what he's been established to be. And then like there's a bunch of lines here in this last one where he's being smug and shitty and petty and going like, "Mwaha, I got you, Vader," and I'm like, "Oh, don't do that. That's not."
Well, the reason they put him underneath, the Emperor puts him underneath Tarkin is like punishment.
Right. Okay.
So like it's kind of like a haha fuck you. So of course, Tarkin's kind of like, yeah,
he's smugging it up.
Bit.
It's a different characterization of him from like a couple pages before.
That's fair.
But it was interesting, and also like that bug race that showed up on the
the Geonosians.
The Geonosians, yeah. I didn't realize about like it's like, oh yeah, they're a slave race that is not allowed to breed on their own. Literally, like they cannot have babies unless it is like a slave baby under the Empire's watch.
Well, yeah, when the Empire kicked in, obviously they were like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. So
hey, guess what? The Empire is super racist. Oh, yeah. I guess. Xenoist? I guess it'd be Xenoist.
Yeah, sure.
They do not hate. It's humans and fuck droids as well too. Everything that's not a human, go fuck yourself.
Vader sees an egg and he goes like, "Who allowed this egg to breed?" Like
you say that, but there may be some stuff in there, in the Clone Wars series.
So okay, so yeah, that came up there, and then the last book is just Vader's like, I want a planet, and like Emperor's like, oh, you want Naboo? Because Naboo's pretty dope. I liked it. That's where I'm from. And he's like, no. He's like, oh, okay, I know. You want Tatooine. It's where you're from. You got the sand. You want to fuck those people up, right? They fucked up your mom and shit. He's like, no. What do you want? Mustafar.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. And I like to see where it's like, all right.
Yeah. You want the fucking lava planet? You want the bad place? You want it? Yeah. Okay, sure. And they give him Mustafar, and then it's like, yo, Vader flies back to Mustafar, and it's like, what's he up to on the lava planet? It's like, well, there's a bunch of cool bug armored people that are hanging out that can bend lava. So
yes, lava benders, basically.
That's
if you will.
pretty rad.
Yeah.
But then, there's a Sith cave, and they actually go into what they don't go into what it is, but they revisit the idea of a Sith cave, because it's like, okay, so when fucking Luke walks in, right, you kind of go like, oh yeah, this is a thing, and he's using it for training. But I guess I haven't stopped to go like, wait, what exactly is that place? You know? And then we see Rey go into one later on, right? When she sees the reflections and all that shit.
Yep.
But you're like, what is this? What is this thing that started with the tradition of Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
You know? And like from looking into it, it seems like these are just ancient like places of power that the Sith used to like concentrate their fucking force energy into.
Well, to tie this back into KOTOR too, there are dark places in the galaxy, and there's I mean, I can't remember exactly how the quote goes, but it's the cutscene with Kreia talking about her past.
Okay,
and it literally starts off, there are dark places,
locations.
of like places of power and stuff. You know?
Well, so and then they go so they on Mustafar. Well, that's where he made the crystal bleed. So he's like, oh, there's some strong shit here. So then it's just like, okay, can we build a structure on top of a Sith cave?
Yeah.
To do some crazy shit.
To channel it, basically, yeah. Can we make a giant focusing rod and do some shit?
Interesting. Okay.
Could we do well? A lot of Sith shit is referred to as like Sith alchemy in the Star Wars universe, and I think that's like an apt way of doing it. Where you're basically like a bunch of evil space wizards doing crazy rituals around dark places of power. Right?
Well, it just I'm like what? Okay, so like what a light side Jedi is doing when they hear about a Sith cave is going in to test themselves and to face their fears and complete their training.
Yeah.
What a Sith Lord is doing is building structures on top of it to
channel it.
Yeah, let's work this shit, So the method by which they do that is by introducing this weird character, the mask boy.
Yeah, he's on the back.
What is his name?
The mask is on the back of this issue.
Yeah,
but he's a Sith Lord that
Modin.
I can't remember his name, but his deal is he basically preserved himself in his mask, in an object.
Yeah, and he literally made it so that like he can continue to exist as long as someone else puts the mask on.
Yeah, and
it's a very weird turn to take, I guess. It like I don't hate it. It's cool. It works in the concept of like Momon. That's it, Momon. It works in the concept of what they're doing, but it really is like, yeah, you kind of just put like a lich into the story. You know what I mean? Like you kind of just like worked a really weird.
I have 2 words for you: hungry boy.
Ah, okay. Okay.
What is Hungry Boy if not a black hole void lich thing?
Yeah, I suppose.
So it's not the first time they've done it.
I guess I'm just like, because like it's like Emperor had this weird helmet, and he's like, "Yeah, you can have it."
Yeah.
And then the Vader's like, "What is this helmet?" It's like, "Oh, it is a like possession item,"
But it also clearly exhibits like force manipulation and affects people around it, right?
It takes you over, but when he comes back while you're wearing the helmet, he doesn't have a connection to the force.
Yeah,
he can only just like use the host's body in a way.
Yeah.
And so like you could definitely go like, all right, so like Sith fucked up weirdness has made it so that he's taken an object and put so much bullshit into it that it has this ability, this arcane ability to bring him back, through whatever means. But I guess it's just one of those bits where I'm like, oh, that goes into like almost like traditional fantasy much more than like Star Wars tech fantasy, in a way. It is like it's one of the most powerful things I've seen an object be or do in Star Wars universe context, Like in the movies, a helmet that you put on that possesses you with the ghost of someone else is so far outside the realm of what they show you in this in a similar way to like Gendy Wars where they're super jumping and shit.
Yeah, no, it's there's a lot of things that do that. Holocrons, they've portrayed a lot of holocrons, especially Sith holocrons, having the ability to like corrupt and manipulate just by being in their physical presence.
Okay.
Which I think Rebels does it. Something else does it, but I don't want to talk about it yet.
Okay.
So it's like the whole idea is like the dark side corrupts, and the Sith objects created by the Sith just corrupt you in their presence, basically, right? Okay. Like it's just that's how fucked up and twisted they are, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a thing. Also, just a side note to backtrack a little bit here. Here's Vader and the Ninth Sister just going on buddy cop adventures.
Buddy cop adventure.
So the Ninth Sister is just right here, and this predates Fallen Order. So there you go.
And speaking of the brothers and sisters, there's a really great intro in this last comic as well, where there's a little side story where you get two of the Inquisitors just kind of hanging out, and Vader kind of just walks up and swings. And like everyone's like, "What the fuck did they do this time? What? What is it?"
Yeah.
And Vader's like, "Is that love I smell?"
So, do you remember which issue that's in? Do you remember what book that's in? Because that's the same shot the second sister's in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the first one. It's literally
it's in the first couple pages of one of the editions. Let me see here, because the second sister is in the shot, I think. Yeah, it's right after this when they get back.
When they get back.
Yeah, she's right there.
Ah,
right there, right in the front.
Cool. Okay,
right in the foreground.
Well, there you go.
So she was a character before they even set her up as a character in Fallen Order.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
and I think that's Rebels.
Okay,
I think that's one of the Rebels chicks. I think she's the one with the little machines. So they. Is
this black skin thing a Twi'lek? There's a different race.
I assume so.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like a Twi'lek, but it's one of the things I love about if one of the I know. Controversial opinion. This is the thing I do like about Disney Star Wars stuff, is that it's clear the people not involved in the movies care and care about continuity and care about writing characters and interesting things and jumping back and forth, because I think there's stuff, I haven't played it, but in the Battlefront 2 campaign there's stuff that references characters that show up in Last Jedi. There's obviously stuff in the comic books that represent show off characters that end up in Fallen Order, which weren't even announced in Fallen Order yet.
Right.
So they really, the people not at the highest levels, but at like the mid-tier levels, clearly care about keeping continuity and making interesting characters. And I assume there's probably like, who's that guy you made?
Right.
That's pretty fucking. Can I use them?
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Absolutely. Yeah. If you're going to do something like, okay. So to me, reading about the Inquisitorius is like, you introduced a new order of pseudo-Jedi into the canon.
Yep.
And these are lightsaber-wielding bad guys that are not Sith. That's a huge deal. And thankfully, it sounds like they did this with consistency and like, I guess, carefulness.
Clearly people involved, especially at this level, on the game level, and I'm going to assume, and I don't know if there's any books yet besides the New Republic
game,
stuff, but it's
comic, Rebels.
Yeah, like they and shows, Clone Wars as well too. Like they clearly were like, okay, let's not fuck this up. Let's not fuck this up. Let's not go into a weird direction.
Yeah. Because if like this comic had its own group of lightsaber wielding bad guys,
you'd be like, then how come they never show up anywhere else?
What are we doing exactly, right? But the game needs its own bad guys too, so what do we do there? So like, thank God everyone is talking to each other, so we know that this is the same group of people, and there's a consistency to that. And
like make and the Inquisitors make perfect sense, because you'd have all these Jedi that you didn't kill and tortured and went, great, it's the same thing that Revan did. Here, I'm taking all these Jedi, I'm torturing them and flipping them to the dark side to use against the Jedi. And he's like, why would you not? That's the perfect weapon against the Jedi, is another Jedi, because then they show up to your doorstep going, oh fuck, I thought you were dead, and it's like, I definitely wasn't. Stab.
Right. It also it's a little odd in the sense that like there's times where you're like, man, these dudes are weak, and it's like, no, wait, they exterminated what was left.
Yep,
they did a really good job of cleaning up what was left.
They're just weak by comparison to Vader.
To Vader.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really like about the Disney media, is that they do not skimp on. Guess what? Darth Vader is fucking strong.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah. He is like, I mean, I just like the fact that when he fights, he's like usually fighting one-handed. He's not even like, I'm not even going to bother holding. It's just whatever, fuck off. Like, I'm not dealing with shit. I'm not even going to use my full power on you.
So there's this little intro chapter where it's literally just like, oh, two Inquisitors are falling in love. Fuck that. And I'm like, man, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Also Emperor's like, hey, yo, check it out. It's Padme's shiny-ass ship. You want it? And he's like, yeah, cool. and then he takes it and he flies it into Mustafar, and roasts it,
and burns it up, destroys it,
and everyone inside
symbolism,
and everyone inside the ship is like, dude, can we just put some shields up? And he's like, nah,
nope. Ride or die, motherfucker.
Yeah. So all this leads to eventually we get to that the main thing, which is Momin reunites with his own body, and because they create this tower, opens up portals.
Sith alchemy. They rip open the fabric of reality, and basically to death.
Are we going to try and specify what the portal is? Because I thought it was a time portal, but it is not.
No, I think it's literally just like death. Like it's the other side
portal.
I think it's just
it's hell
or heaven, whatever the Star Wars represent. Yeah, it's the afterlife, and maybe it's a embodiment of what happens when you become one with the Force.
Because I couldn't. It was.
I mean, it's clearly it looks like a fucking hell portal. Like, let's be honest. But
to me, it was like I was thinking about it at first. I was like, is this the past? And I was like, no, it's not the past. And I was like, is this hell? And I'm like, but the things you see there are not necessarily real.
No.
So it's mixed with illusions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's a mind hell in a way. It feels like it's a personal dimension.
I think it depends on who goes in, right? Like, obviously, you've got to... I mean, I think one of the reasons why Vader sees and is basically goes in and mind hell, I think, is a perfect representation of that, is because he's a fucking tortured individual and probably sees what he wants to see,
because
right?
Momin just opens up the door and goes like, hey, what up?
Yeah. I mean, he's probably been hanging out in that fucking region for however many years? How many centuries? Right?
Yeah.
Right? So he's probably like, I'm used to this. I don't give a fuck.
Whereas Vader now is going in, and the thing about it is that, and like the way I'm going to say it, you can reinforce that it's personal hell is because when he goes through it, it links back to all the other issues because he's suddenly in that meditated state that you saw. So him in his hellscape, now you enter that hellscape. So it's like this, his mental projection of what he sees himself as is now manifest. Therefore, I'm going to say that you're walking into your own mind's hellscape. That's what that portal is to me.
Yeah, I interpret it more as like you're walking into whatever your personal interpretation of the afterlife is.
Okay.
But it's set up in such a way that your mind can handle it, giving you like certain reflections of like certain things that you're used to seeing, so your mind just doesn't break. Tag mind break.
It's Sith shrooms.
Yeah. Also, and again, to reiterate, this is on Mustafar in a Sith cave with a giant fucking 5G Sith tower attached on the top of it.
This is true.
So it's probably really evil.
The biggest 5G tower.
Yeah. And this is that's iteration like 30.
Yeah. Constant failure.
Yeah.
So you get that. You get a couple of moments. You get a really great moment of like Vader jumping in and rallying a bunch of stormtroopers to battle, and they're like, "Yeah, for Vader!" And Vader's like, "Okay, dudes, whatever."
Yeah, like that's the best part.
You know, like they literally are like, "Let's go,
Empire! We have to do this for the end." Vader just doesn't give a fuck. He's like, "I got my own things I'm dealing with."
Lava.
Yeah. He's just like, eh.
You know? And so after jumping in there, we get to see the infamous page.
Yeah,
the infamous birthing page.
Yeah,
the truthers.
Yeah,
the truthers come out, and we get pregnant
Anakin mom
Shmi.
Shmi with Palpatine just like nyah
behind her, and everyone goes, "What the fuck is that?"
Well, that's the
is
video.
That proof positive.
That's the panel that like there's a dozen videos of Palpatine is Anakin's father ? It's like all right,
yeah. And then it's like he hit him with the midichlorian jizz basically.
Yeah.
But the question is now, well, for me, when I see that, it's like, okay, it's clearly, well, the writers come on Twitter and go, that's meant to be an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
It's meant to be what Vader thinks. It's not meant to be literal.
Yeah.
Right?
Which also is, again, my jumping back to you're looking at your own interpretation of what the afterlife is and what events are, right? Depending on your own mind, right?
But it does get fucked up in the sense that it's like, if you want to say that the person whose hand shoots the magic out that makes someone pregnant is the same as like fucking that person, and he gets the father role, then I suppose Rey later on down the line hanging out with Ben is a weirdo like, oh, you guys are technically cousins, if you want to get on that weird technicality train. I personally think I'm like, hand magic pregnancy is not the same as traditional dick pregnancy.
Traditional dick pregnancy, copyrighted, and Pass Plus incorporated.
I think it's a little bit different,
Yeah.
But I can see the warping of the situation to be what it is.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about technicalities, Palpatine never fucked because that was a clone of Palpatine that fucked, that escaped. So technically, Palpatine did not fuck.
Yep.
So, yeah.
The face of the young parent that we saw in Reprieve, it's like, no, that's just a bad clone.
Yeah, but again, don't think about the sequels. To reiterate, don't think about the sequels. Your tag mind break.
Mm-hmm. And he goes through. He fails to do anything to save anybody. He gets to have a big old, mind fight with all of the Jedi from the comic and from the movies and everybody. And we even get a little nod to Ahsoka in there.
Yep.
Right? There's literally a part where he's back to back with Ahsoka, having a little right there.
Oh yeah, that's so spoiler alert. Actually, no, I'm not going to spoiler alert because I'm not going to tell you what that is from.
But I already know. Right?
Do you want me to tell you where it's from?
Well, I know that there's a moment in the future when older Ahsoka, through a portal, clashes sabers with Vader for a second or some shit like that.
So that's Rebels.
Okay.
So that's the thing that does happen later on. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds ridiculous, but whatever. We'll find out, I suppose.
I mean, it makes sense in the context, but we'll get there.
Yeah. I suppose we will. And
also, you're right about a portal. You just don't know the context.
Yeah, and I think I also know that it has to do with the Father, the Daughter, and the Holy Spirit, or whatever the fuck that the trio of Force gods is. So,
that's one of the things where I'm like, can we not do this?
Yeah,
it's Clone Wars.
Not
can
a fan of that.
Can we not have a literal religious representation of the Force? Can't the Force just be a thing?
Yeah, I'll find out more, but I'm not too keen on that.
Yeah.
That Holy Trinity.
Again, there's elements in the new stuff where I'm like, this is cool. Like making a lightsaber crystal bleed. I think that's fucking metal. It's dumb, but I think that's fucking metal. And there's elements.
It's dumb, but it works. It's dumb, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, considering previously, it's like, well, you synthesized a lightsaber crystal and it's red because of it. But
like I said, I give it a pass because it forces you to see the visions of your peaceful future and choose to not opt for them.
Yeah.
So fine. Yeah. But yeah, and then he attempts to save Natalie Portman one more time, and then it fucking fails.
Yeah.
So then he walks out and goes, "Fine, I'll just be Vader then."
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah.
But,
the big old fin.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's cool. It's an interesting, unexpected way to play out the end of this book series, where it's let's take a journey inside his head and try to give you a vibe of what he's thinking, what he wants to do, what he's about,
what happened, literally how he rose to power and how he figured all of his shit out, and what's going on in his head.
Yeah, and using all lines from pre-existing material in terms of movies and or canon in the shows and stuff.
Also, you mentioned it before, but there is a fantastic Order 66 moment.
Yeah.
And I want to just quickly talk about that. So we're still not done with spoilers yet. They mention that this is on Mon Calamar when they're doing their whole thing. One of the Jedi's to escape getting captured. The entire Inquisitor army with the Inquisitors are all clones. So he just goes, "Hey, those are all clones, right? Execute Order 66!" And they just start blasting the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
And he brings up a great point of quite possibly the best light later there's ever been. And he goes, "I'm going to kill hundreds of millions of people, or hundreds, or whatever it is, get everyone killed on the planet, which will spark the rebellion. Which will save billions and trillions down the road." And it's a Jedi doing this, which I think is a really good because even the king is like, "You fucking madman! You killed my people. You
killed my planet.
You killed my planet, you asshole."
Yeah.
And even Vader is like, not a very good fucking Jedi. But it's cool because at the end of the day, it works. It's an interesting way of interpreting that because it ends up sparking the rebellion because everyone goes, "Oh, fuck the Empire," right?
And like, wasn't there a line somewhere, not in this, but wasn't there something that said that, like, Akbar was one of the first members of the Resistance or something like that?
He's important in this. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'd have to go reread it because it's been a minute since I've read them. But
so, like, it is straight up, like, Jedi accelerationism occurs here, where he's like, let's make this worse than it is, so that we can get a
greater good. Which I actually, now that I think about it, is the ultimate Jedi thing. Of like, no, don't think about the humanity of the subject. We're just going to escalate this, and we're going to cause the good guys to win eventually, which then doesn't work because like 30 years later, the bad guys come back.
Yeah, you're not gonna get the average citizen upset over trade and spice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so
when the Empire basically glasses a planet. And everyone goes,
You know, and this is all before the station, you know? So no, but it is an interesting way to end out that series, going inside his head. You only have to hope that, like, okay, we are showing you the entirety of his life here, including everything from Clone Wars, or including 2 panels or 3 panels to represent Clone Wars, because never, ever, ever does his time hanging out with, Snips, right? His time hanging out with Snips never quite comes up in any of the serious material. So
what?
It makes you kind of go like, I hope they don't retcon anything else into the end of his life, because then that walk is missing a page.
Also, it gets a little bit weird when you rewatch, because the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith was like a few days ago. It came out like 15 years ago, almost to the day. And it's really funny when you go back and you're watching a scene with the council talking about of the war and events and stuff, and they're talking to Skywalker, they're talking to Anakin, and doing the whole like we're gonna get you to spy on Palpatine. It's really funny when you're in that exact moment. They're like, "Oh, you all know Maul's alive."
Oh, really?
Everyone in the council at that point knows Maul's alive.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah,
okay.
and it's like everyone in that room knows Darth Maul is still alive and has not acknowledged it. Because then you start running into shit like that when you start trying to pad out shit in the background. You're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Who could it be? The bad guy who's resurrected that we totally know about?
Which definitely, when it's really funny, especially when Mace Windu goes, "A Sith Lord?" And it's like, bitch, Maul's alive!
Oh, no.
You were just talking to a task force like 20 minutes before that conversation.
Right. Also, I don't know where or what ends up. I don't know what the deal with Ventress is, but for all I know, she's running around or not. What, you know what I mean? Like there's an entire there's an entire Sith character in between these movies. Like, for whatever it is, or her, like her.
Again, she's not a Sith. She is
sure,
but
Ahsoka and Ventress are 2 big lightsaber swinging main characters and villains that end up showing up after 2 and not showing up in 3.
But don't worry, Woolie. Ahsoka's lightsabers are in the lightsaber shop in Disney World.
Okay, well,
you can buy them, and they, for whatever reason, decide to go with big, giant, cartoony versions of it, not the cool, slender-looking banana lightsabers. And I'm like, these are sitting next to Anakin's lightsaber and Obi-Wan's lightsaber, and that's where we're at.
But nobody thought about any of that context in those movies.
Also, one more thing on that note too, because again, this is where I'm kind of at with Disney, and like they're clearly trying to push certain characters, but that doesn't make any sense. During the building your own lightsaber thing attraction that my fiance did and myself, they were going through like purple, talking about the different lightsaber crystals, and it's like blue, the color of Luke, or what was it, Obi-Wan, and Rey, green, it's Luke, purple, the color of Mace Windu, very rare, and then red, the color of Asajj Ventress and Kylo Ren, and I'm just like, oh, okay. it represents power, and it's like, okay,
Stop.
all right. All right. The rest was great, but I definitely cringed a little bit when that happened, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Totally. Well, anyway.
Anyways, on that note,
Yes.
want to get to some good Star Wars?
We should do that. I really hope they don't big boss Vader too hard, because Big Boss is a character who, the less you know about him towards the end, the better it is when he reemerges to be that villain, so that Solid Snake can rise.
I'm ultimately like, at this point, stop. Leave Vader alone. Leave Brittany alone. No, like just stop.
Yeah.
Just make a new character. Like, I really liked at the start, I really liked what you're doing with Kylo Ren. I'm just like, make your own new villains. Yeah. You got your iconic villains. You can parade them out for your Disney experience to sell some money. Got it. Da-da-da-da-da. But, like, make your own new villains. Make your own Revan. Make your own equivalent. Do something different. And that's all I want. Stop rehashing bullshit. The best scenes in Rogue One are of Vader, who has no bearing on the plot of that movie whatsoever. He's in 2 scenes, and he's talking to a dude in the background about the Death Star, and then he kills some dudes in a scene, and that's the 2 best scenes in Rogue One. For me personally, the rest of the movie, I'm like, I actually forgot. When you were like, Jyn Orso, I was like, who?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. No, it's fucking, it steals it. It really does. Yeah, that's it, man, though. Otherwise, good comics. Yeah. Thank you for entertaining this short podcast review.
Yeah. Also, sorry it took so long to get them to you, because it was one of those things where I'll get them to you next week. I'll get them to you next week. I'll get them to you.
No, shit's rad. It's all good.
And then I got sick.
Dantooine.
We are back. Hey, so now that we've just kind of like teased everyone, just edged everyone a little bit with the ruins of the Jedi Enclave, I'm really happy we went to the side cave to go do a little side quest about nothing.
You're right. Wasn't it like air conditioner parts or something?
It was atmospheric sensors.
Yeah, air conditioner parts.
But I will say, again, did not know Godo could get you an extra $1,000 out of that. That's really cool.
Cash money. We did get some cash money from the boy.
Off camera, I have been doing a dark side run, because I'm just to purely get Godo to run with Godo, because I've never run with him, and so far, that's twice now we've popped him in the party, and he's given us more cash, or he's fixed a problem. So it's like, shit.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to Godo.
Now, clearly we're not done with that cave, though. So
no, we'll be back.
We'll eventually be back.
Also, the thing I was thinking, there's an item in that cave we will be acquiring that is really useful, and I realized it doesn't matter what our affinity is to the Force, because we can fix that later.
Wonderful.
With certain things. So we should be okay to go do that whenever. Also, last time we ended with me going, I think we have enough light side points to do the thing, to hit the check. And in the meantime, I have discovered a secret Force technique known as Force Console Command. So if we don't hit it, we can use the Force to achieve perfect balance in the Force. Force tilde. No extra stuff required. We can absolutely hit it.
Now, V, that sounds like a power that I would call unnatural.
You would be correct. It is so unnatural that your save file going forward will forever say cheats enabled on the save file.
I would like to avoid that if possible.
We should be fine, but just in case, as an absolute last resort, we will not miss the really important thing.
Okay.
In fact, we were just talking about that before we started recording, about Sith caves, and
we
definitely would like to see what's in a Sith cave.
Sith caves come up quite a few times. They come up in Empire, they come up in Last Jedi, and they come up in that comic book I just read with Darth Vader in it.
And it's crazy how they just built a giant 5G Sith tower on top of it to harness the power of the dark side. It's crazy how that worked.
Gotta be careful about that 5G.
It's very dangerous.
Where was... Oh, the ruins are up there. No, wait.
No, that's where we want to go. Enclave Courtyard.
I'm correct?
That's
Yeah,
where,
okay.
We should head back to the Enclave, because we...
Yes, this is
we
what I was
should
looking for.
definitely do some stuff here.
Yeah.
Before we do that, though, I do want to show off a hilarious exploit. We're not going to do it properly, because I don't want to actually fuck the game up, but there is a speedrunning tech in this area that is very funny, and if you still actually have to hit certain triggers in the game, or it'll just bork your game completely, but it's pretty funny. Hey!
Announcement. You have caused us to expenditure a great deal of effort to find you, Jedi. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Threat. Come with us without resistance, Jedi, or you will come with us in pain.
I wish... Oh.
Were you about to say, I wish I had to shut the fuck up?
Don't you ever know when to quit? I wish we had a custom line for HK every time if he was walking with us and that embarrassing thing happened.
Yeah.
Sound warning.
I love it. I love it. Destroy Droid is, again, doing a dark side run, still grabbing Destroy Droid. It's just so stupid. I love it. Oh, it's such a great power.
Oh yeah, team smart money.
So, oh yeah, I guess it is. So go to the right first, because, sorry, no, back around, other way, that right. When you were facing it was right. Nope, back up. Turn to yeah, that way. Go that way first, where the Kath Hounds are.
Okay, my orientation.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. To be fair, I said it as you were turning the camera, so that's totally fine.
Hey, beasts.
More sound warning. Do. It's really funny, just going back to lightsaber, and it's like, miss.
Yeah.
And it's like lightning kills everything in one hit. Well, not one hit, but you get the idea.
We got a fancy flurry, though.
Yeah, we do. Still missing.
Oh my god.
So,
these are scaling monsters, right?
Yep. So the, I guess the equivalent would be Jedi Weapon Master. The Weapon Master class allows you to specialize even harder into dual wielding or single wielding. So you can, by the end of it, just basically swing and never miss. Like, it gives you another 3 levels of dueling or another 3 levels of 2-weapon fighting, and just gives you better bonuses as you go. So, definitely, if you are planning on playing this game and going pure combat, that would be the way to go. Also, probably starting with a Guardian, but then obviously your game's going to be very easy, because you can just walk into a room, hit basic attack, and solve all your problems.
It was really cool to have the super jump ability to jump into battle.
So there is a robe that will allow us to do that in this game.
Yeah, that in the first game, doing that as pockets was fun.
So all your Guardians have that ability. If you give Beodor a lightsaber, he will jump in the battle.
I mean, it's a very like action-y thing for a game that doesn't do a ton of that action-y stuff.
Yeah, it gives it a cool extra little bit there. Okay, so this is where an exploit happens. So the speed run tactic is this door is closed, obviously. Caved-in door, upper level of the Enclave closed, blah, 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 blah. Cannot access it, right? So the speed run tactic is you turn around facing away from the door, and we're not going to do it because I don't want to bork the game by accident. And you turn around facing away from the door, and you swap out party members until one of your party members loads on the other side of the door. Because the party members always load behind you. So you just keep swapping out members until they are on the other side, which then lets you run into the room, which causes all sorts of problems at this stage of the game. So that's and I don't know if the restored content mod fixes it, because I've only ever seen the speed run done on the base version of the game, but that is a fun little exploit. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say like how much time does it shave?
Oh, in the speed run?
Yeah.
That's the end of the game.
Oh my god.
Not the end of the game, but that kicks off the end of the game phase.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, if you don't complete certain things, it borks the
Who are we
game
missing?
completely.
We're one off.
We're missing Joran. I don't see Joran.
That runt of a Kath Hound, he's the one with the backpack. Did anybody grab anything from the room? Anybody?
Hello?
Hi there.
What do you want?
I'm heading for the ruins of the Enclave.
Yeah, don't even. What's the problem? Just.
You won't find anything there except on the lowest sub-level, and there you'll only find death. Lagreks are everywhere.
What can you tell me about the Lagreks?
What's the enemy we're about to fight for the next dungeon?
Nothing. Find out for yourself. I'm not interested in training
Good.
competition.
Believable.
Now,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, we're going someplace you can't eavesdrop on us and get down to our business.
Like, what the fuck are you asking me questions for?
Yeah, bugger off, eh?
Oh no, Goto.
Dodo's getting a little bit in the way.
He's lying.
He is a big boy. He's a little thick.
playing linebacker. Alright.
So that leaves us with Joran. Earlier, Joran was a dude I believe brought up in the slaver group, but or not slaver group, the slavers. Yeah, slavers. Salvage group. I believe they mentioned Joran briefly, but
Did they run back to the fire?
yes, they are
Okay,
back there, and you could actually go talk to them if you want to.
Because I was just thinking.
Continuing to just edge a little bit, just teasing it. We'll get in there eventually.
Yeah,
We have to build for dramatic tension.
just get a little bit of information right now. Hey there. Tapele.
Yeah.
Joran knew the risks. He wouldn't do anything different if he was in our situation.
So Joran is in there.
Eurovic is not someone you should cross. Now you're the Lagreks can even talk. That Zeron is the biggest salvage
All right.
find ever.
You don't need none
Some
of your
more,
matter.
some more background lore, some good stuff there if you want. So apparently Joran is still stuck in there, and he has a bunch of equipment.
Yeah, this
SWAT.
looks like huge explosions.
From space, you maybe
Perhaps
some type of
aerial bombardment.
some type of glassing of the planet, if you will. Oh, so yeah, they brought that up very briefly, but it's like, I hear Lagreks can talk, and it's like,
Wait, what?
That's what he was saying. I hear Lagreks can talk. They do not.
Fuck. Am I killing some form of
No.
like race that is actually
No.
okay?
That's a Lagrek.
Okay.
They do not talk.
Like, what the shit are you saying, dude?
That's when rumors go around and all that good stuff.
Well, in Star Wars, you never fucking know.
That's
right?
true. Anything could be sent. Well, I think you can assume that anything that is at least on two legs is sentient. But
You
yeah.
meet a wild animal, and then it might actually be like a shopkeep. Here we go.
So this is the sub-level of the Enclave. We were never here in the game. So yeah, let's see what's in here. This is all new environments for us, but strangely familiar. What with the whole, this was a chunk of the first game.
Yeah, again, it's been so long that I'm not remembering a ton of the textures, but I remember the outside a lot more than I remember the inside.
Yeah, which again, great asset reuse. Fantastic way of doing it. You don't have to build. You just change the model slightly and throw some damaged goods all around the environment. Like, honestly, the first time I discovered that, like, this was just the entire environment, but backwards, I was kind of like, oh, and it took me to, like, leaving the Enclave when I was running away from it, and I was like, because when I initially saw it, I was like, which side of the Enclave is this? I don't recognize this. And then, upon leaving back to the camp, I was like, oh, it's the side. It just looks a little different.
14.
And there's just no path to the temple?
14.
Just pretend that that's fine and that it got bombed out and that it all regrew in 5 years.
Okay.
So, pretty big area, lots to explore, lots of cool stuff in here too, lots of cool things to talk about.
I'm surprised that, like, Disney never went, for, like, a Telltale game. Or, like, got them on the horn.
Well, considering it didn't exactly do very well financially, I'm not surprised.
Well, actually, then again, they did do the Guardians of the Galaxy, didn't they?
That's right, they did do one, didn't
So
they?
Disney did work with Telltale.
I guess they did. I guess they just decided not to do Star Wars with that. Well, doesn't EA have, like, the exclusive rights to Star Wars games right now? And EA wouldn't want to do that. They want to keep everything in-house, and they want to make their multiplayer.
Right,
series.
they did it up like the NBA or the NFL. Like,
Yeah.
they did it like
Yeah.
straight up
Which, again,
sports style.
to this day still surprises me when they made the tweet going, Fallen Order is coming out, and it will be a single-player game with no microtransactions. And I'm like, you fucking liar. I don't believe you. Whew. But hey, they got it right with Fallen Order. Fallen Order is really good. Highly recommend it. Oh, we got Kill now.
Yeah.
Time to activate Kill.
So let's.
In fact, one would say all you need is
all you need is kill.
Salvager corpse. Dead salvager. So this guy, they mentioned earlier that there is someone with a will in here that they want to bring the will back to the salvager camp so that they can rest make the rest the body and stuff like that.
Right.
And we with our awareness went, why do you want the will? What do you need with that will that signs away all this dead guy's possessions? So here's the thing. The dark side route nets us a lightsaber of that quest. The light side road, man, kill was so good. It's really good against single targets, man.
It doesn't actually instantly kill them.
No, but it stacks.
Yes.
Which is really useful. It's kind of like the, what was the power that did that in Bioshock? Was it fire? I think second and third levels of fire could stack. I just recently played through Bioshock 1 and 2 again because it was on a deal.
It's just the naming of the ability makes you think it would just instantly kill the
Well,
thing.
to be fair, once you hit him with it, he just stands still and dies. Oh, really not him.
Saved.
Oh, is this a stronger one? This might be a stronger one. There's a Lagrek, and then there's another type of Lagrek in here. Yeah, he's probably the stronger one.
Well, they've been saving it quite a bit, but it's doing damage.
Yep. I just appreciate when you select a new enemy and it just says kill.
Yeah.
What enemy is this? Kill.
We got some landmines.
Yep.
And...
But yeah, going back to that side quest, we want to turn it in to be a good boy. Because, as mentioned before, we need to do a little bit of light side. We have to cash in some of those light later points to, yeah, so there's enemies over there. That's what you're locking onto, so.
Yeah, so let me just be careful here. Yeah. Everybody stand still.
We don't have a, we have a demo guy? Yeah, we're not demo enough to get those, but I think Beodor is.
I was going to see if I could just...
Oh, sneak by?
Not get them...
Can you squeeze between that gap?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me just...
Walk into this room and zap them real quick.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Not very good landmines. Damn, I got hit for pretty good damage. Oh.
I told you to stay still.
Nice.
I literally went solo mode so that you would not follow me. You fools.
That's okay. He probably locked on. He probably saw or was within sight. And once you take damage, your allies who are within sight do come to your aid. Which is funny because you can definitely have moments in the game where you fight enemies, but they can't hit you, and your companions just stand there until they finally hit you. You'll get like 2 or 3 kills, and they'll just be like, "Now you got this."
Well, Goto listened to instructions.
Goto can't see. Data pad, storage room. The journal was found near the gnawed, clean skeleton of a scavenger. The last entry of interest. I made it farther into the Enclave than any other salvager. Look how well that went for you. I discovered an untouched storage room. The computer in the power relay station should allow me to open the security door. Once I figure out how to sneak past the Lagreks that have made a nest there, I will leave Dantooine rich. It's funny how these messages never work out like that, and they're always worded in the same way. So actually, while you're on solo mode, this is good. You should stay on solo mode while you do this.
Access work log. Main power relay terminal station.
Work log. What's that? Task 10, a 1046B, head technician, I'm here investigating complaints of the storage room, store sticking shut. Following a recent mishap with a defective flaming protocol droid, my assistant, Tarn, will be on hand to open the door for me and get stuck. Okay, got it. So the door's stuck. That's what's happening right now. Makes sense why no one's accessed it yet. Can't connect to the main computer. Because, probably because there's no main computer anymore.
Verify main computer is active. Alright, return to main.
Open the door. Can't. Fucked.
Whoa, what happened?
Door stuck.
Okay. Camera. Storage.
That looks like a lot of good stuff in there.
That's some good stuff. What about here?
Power relay entrance.
Hello.
That's, yep.
Okay.
Oh, some death and destruction we left on our wake. Nice.
Hallway.
You can hear them skittering around there, the Lagreks. Yep, there's some more.
Hallway.
Droid bay. That's a lot of droids.
Okay.
We want some extra XP because you
what's
can
up.
get some in there.
Okay.
So the only option is to overload terminal.
Yep.
How long would you like to do it?
Give me
Oh, you don't need 30 seconds.
1 second.
Well,
give me 5 seconds.
1 second is funny because it will absolutely down you.
Yeah.
But your guys are outside of the room, so you're fine.
Give me 5 seconds.
That should be okay. Time to leave. It's the FF7 thing all over again. How long till the bomb detonates?
Cool guy, don't look at
explosions. Oh, there we go. Convenient. Door open. What do we got in here? Another data pad. This is the work. Yeah, Okay, it has been a couple weeks and no one has come for me. Oh no, he's starved to death. Oh, I can only assume the Enclave was destroyed topside, now buried alive in here. I've tried using the equipment in the storage room to hack, force weld or blow that flaming security door open, and it's not stuck. That sucks. Yeah, the door gets stuck, so of course anyone in here is stuck.
Lowercase f.
Oh, God, no.
Hack force. Weld.
Starving to death has got to be one of the worst ways to go.
Brutal.
I feel at that point you just turn one of those tools against you, right, and just make it quick.
If you have the energy for it,
yeah,
you might want.
I mean, yeah, if you're holding out for weeks, that's a different story.
No, wasting away is suffering.
Yeah.
Paralysis dart.
Yeah, just shoot himself. with
one of these.
Yeah, and you're good, and you just gently drift off to sleep. Or shoot a rocket at your face.
There you go.
That would have solved the problem.
Or you open this footlocker over here and see roast pheasant. Spike Ithorian.
Iotran.
Iotran.
Or Lotran, rather, or whatever it is. I can't tell if it's an L or an I of distance.
I'm reading too fast.
Braceman armor. It's okay. I saw Spaceman armor, so don't worry. We're both going blind, Woolie. It's fine. That's what happens when you get old.
What is the Braceman armor?
I think it's heavy armor. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It is really good. Makes you really good at pew-pewing. Militaristic species from the industrial planet of Lotra on the Outer Rim. Their versatile armor is a favorite among experienced bounty hunters.
It does not say upgradable.
They're all upgradable.
Okay.
Unless if it's specific, all armor is upgradable, unless if it specifically says non-upgradable. But that's pretty damn good for a pew-pewer. Unfortunately, wow. Well, now we have we have both of Karth's blasters now.
Wait, what was that?
It was a nasty blaster again.
Okay, good eye. Shit.
So that was I guess I'm not going blind. Haha! Suck it, old age of 28. Yeah, it was another Onassi blaster, so we have two now. Onassi. So, for those just tuning in, we have found another one of these in a random merchant's inventory.
Jackie O blaster?
Yep.
Okay.
So, there we go. We got two. Which,
beautiful.
Yeah. So now we can throw both of them in the trash. To show Karth the honor that he deserves. There's a good one.
Quickness D.
So D requires 16 or 18 Constitution to equip, but those are the ones where you start getting real good up stuff. 4 to Dexterity.
Ooh.
And in fact, we can equip the lesser version, which is the one above it.
Yeah.
Which is +3 to Dexterity.
Okay.
So
that's good for shoot boys.
It is. It's also good for our defense. In fact, it should have just upped our defense automatically.
Well, I'm wearing...
The immunity to crits is also very useful.
I'm wearing the retinal.
Yeah, so...
I still prefer that.
So yeah, definitely, as you can see, when you start getting into the higher levels of implants that require a lot more Constitution, they're very much worth it. You get a very big boost to your stats. Oh, how about that? Physical boost implant. Throw that one in. You can equip that one. Want to see what that does? One more.
Con, dex, strength, all together.
All your physical stats boosted. And that's only at 4. Or at 14, rather. So you can imagine the next level of that. How much you attach to that crit hit right now?
Yeah. No. That's good. That's good. It's very good. I think we scraped it?
Yep. So that, along with your armband, gives you 2 Constitution just from the implant and the armband. So you are at 2 Constitution, 2 Dexterity, and 2 Strength, just from those 2 items.
Okay, well...
what are your stats at right now, anyways? Yeah, so you're doing good. You're fine. You got a lot of bonuses right now.
359 force. Get out for a second. Oh, too late.
Nope, you're locked in.
We're locked in for the dungeon.
That's okay.
All right, smart money. Team smart money it is.
Team smart money. Oh, it's a stuck door.
Mine it.
Nope, you can lightsaber it. Lightsabers open up doors with no bashing required. Kind of unbalances the game a little bit at the start of the game if you have one already equipped.
Oh, so otherwise, any mineable door, you can just, if you have a lightsaber, you can do that?
If you have no option to bash it, then you can only mine it. So some things, like for example, some containers are stuck that you can't even lockpick. But it doesn't give you the option to bash it. So you have to just straight up use a mine on it. But a lightsaber just opens up a locked door on the first try.
You know, dark side energy or dark side abilities are supposed to be really expensive, but apparently they're not that expensive.
So a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, a solid 40 hours into the playthrough, or 40 hours ago of the playthrough, I believe I mentioned, hey, guess what? Once we hit the mid to late game, it's not going to matter. You're going to have so many points, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. Which does make a Force wielder a very fun playthrough in this game, because you can basically get all of the powers, not all the powers, but all the really fun powers, and just have a blast and see what they all do.
No, I'm looking at that only, huh? Alright.
Well, you might as well just finish off these boys. Oh no, they're surrounding you. They're coming within range of your Force Lightning. What are we to do? Also, your guys are still on solo mode. That's why they're not here and helping you.
Oh.
They're in the next room over.
This is true.
But that's also funny because that means you're just soloing the dungeon.
Yeah.